Hi families, Mr. Jackson here. Another tutorial video, this about Google Meet. Google Meet is an online meeting platform much like Zoom or Skype that we use here in Blount County Schools to meet with our students. And we have practiced this at the beginning of the year. I've done practice meetings with the students in their classrooms and went over some of the best practices and things procedure-wise that they need to do when they're joining meetings. So this video is a tutorial about Google Meet as it stands right now. Now, I say this because there have been some updates and features that Google has announced, although they didn't announce specific dates of when those features would be incorporated into Google Meet. But as of right now, September 17th, 2020, this is what Google Meet looks like for our students. So to join a Meet, they're going to be entering a meeting code. Now you may be saying, well, hold on, Mr. Jackson, how do I get to Google Meet to begin with? To get to Google Meet, they will create a new tab in Chrome. They'll click on the Google Apps, what we jokingly call the waffle button, and they'll look for this icon right here that says Meet, M-E-E-T. When they click on that icon, they are brought to a Google Meet page, and if you'll notice on their screen, it says use a meeting code. This is a way for teachers to monitor when the meeting starts, and this could change. This will be one of the areas that does change in the next few weeks. So for right now, they'll use a meeting code. Now, this is very important. And again, we practice this with our students because they can only, as students, use a meeting code to join a meeting. They can't start a meeting as students. They can only use a meeting code to join a meeting. What that means, though, is they can only join the meeting once the teacher has started the meeting. So if you are supposed to meet with your teacher at, let's say, 1:05, and at 1:03 you try to use that meeting code and you can't get in the meeting, it's probably because the teacher is not in the meeting yet. So don't just give up, stop, think nasty thoughts about the teacher. Just give it a moment. Let them get in, then try to use the code again. So we're going to demonstrate what happens when the teacher's not in right now. I'm going to use the meeting code practice Jackson 3. And I'll hit continue. And as you can see, the error message down here has popped up. You're not allowed to start a meeting. So I'm going to start the same meeting as a teacher. All right, so I'm starting as a teacher. And now I'm using the meeting code that we just established a moment ago, practice Jackson 3. Now, Meet is going to ask the first time they've come in on their device or if things have been reset on their device for permission to use their camera and microphone. So you can click on Dismiss here, and then in this pop-up menu, it's asking to allow. So we're going to allow on both of those. Oh, try that again. Practice Jackson 3. I think I joined on this computer just a little too quickly before my desktop was ready. All right, there we go. Now we have granted permission to the microphone and the camera. If for some reason those aren't working, you can check up here, click on this little lock that shows the site information. Make sure allow is selected for both of those. If for some reason they're still not able to be heard or hear what's going on in the meeting, I've noticed on some of our devices where sometimes it doesn't pick up that headphones have been unplugged after they've been plugged in. So the real quick way of doing fixing that is going down here into this bottom corner where the clock is, click here, and this little arrow beside the volume button allows them to change the input and output devices. So if there had been headphones plugged in on this Chromebook, we could select if they had internal headphones built into it. You could, or headphones built in, a microphone built into the headphones. Sorry, you could select back and forth from here. Same thing on the speakers, swapping back and forth between the headphones and the internal speakers on the Chromebook. So all those look good. You probably hear me now. And what we've done as a best practice on this is to make sure that we're eliminating any and all possibilities of feedback, is to make sure and mute their microphone before they come into the meeting. And to mute their microphone, they're going to click on this microphone icon down here that turns off the microphone. And that way they're eliminating some of the possibility of just the outside noise of coming into the meeting before things get started. So we're going to mute the microphone there. And now we're going to press join now. And now we are in this meeting. And what you're seeing right now, because it's just a meeting with myself and myself as a teacher and a student, I've got my camera off on my teacher computer. I'll go ahead and turn it on for just a moment, but that's just my profile icon for Google. There I am. Hi, here I am looking at the camera, waving at you. Wonderful. All right, I'm going to turn myself off again so I'm not distracting myself with what's going on in this video. All right, so features and things that you need to know about. First off, down here, we've got that microphone on and off button. So as you need to turn the microphone on and off, that's what you're going to click on. To leave the call, to leave the meeting, you've got the button like on many of our cell phones to leave the call. You've also got a way of turning the camera on and off during the meeting. Some other features here, if we click on more options, there are ways to change the layout. So as your students are trying to see all the students in their class and their teacher, they can change the layout there. It won't really work for us right now because there's only 2 people in this meeting, me, myself, and I. There's a full screen option there. One thing, though, that is helpful is if there are multiple students in a meeting, and let's say that a student is sharing and your child is wanting to see them more easily, there is a pin, little push pin, that would show up on each of these, each of the people in the call. If they click on the push pin, that's going to pin that camera, that feed to the screen, so they'll be able to see them full screen and just see that one individual. So, and then to unpin, same thing. You would click on the pin again, it would go away. Up here is a list of everyone that's in the meeting. And yes, there is a chat feature. One of the things that Google has said is that feature will be able to be turned off by the teacher eventually, but the chat is there, and depending on whether or not the teacher has told students to use the chat or not, it's up to them. I have suggested to students that the chat be like a parking lot for their questions. So if the teacher is in the middle of instruction, they want to ask a question, but they don't want to forget their question while they're waiting to be called on, they could use the chat area to type in that question to the teacher. Chat goes to everybody. It's not a private message, so if they ask something in the chat, everyone sees it. There will be a notification that pops up down here in the bottom corner of their screen, and everyone will see it. This is not the place to play. Because as a teacher is trying to present instruction, they don't need to be distracted by students talking in the chat and just typing in nonsense. And I've warned our students that the more work you make for your teachers, they'll probably make for them. So to use the chat responsibly and however the teacher tells them to. So we'll close that for now. All right, you also have an option to present now, and that's something that we'll work with our students. But if there are things that they're wanting to present, on their device, they can use this button to present those things. They can present their entire screen, so everything that's currently on their screen. If there is a particular window that they have open that they want to present from, or a Chrome tab, they can present from that. Again, all of these are more advanced options that as students make presentations and creations on their Chromebook, they can use those features. Over here, let me see if I can hide this menu. I've got a menu here for this video that was kind of in the way. Over here, we've got some details about the meeting. This joining info, that type of stuff, it isn't really anything that's pertinent to what we're doing today. There's a place for a teacher to load in attachments. Don't know how much this feature would be used, but that is a place if a teacher is in the meeting and says, hey, open this so we can look at this together. That's where that item could possibly be parked. All right, and I believe that does it for Google Meet. Now, to leave the meeting, and we've practiced this with our students just so they know how to do this as well. And this is an easy thing to do, is to accidentally click on leave call when they're trying to go over to turn on their microphone. If they click on leave call, they're going to be brought to this screen, and they can actually rejoin. As long as the meeting is still in progress, they can rejoin the meeting just by clicking this rejoin button. It will take them right back into it. If they are truly trying to leave the meeting, they know to go ahead and click on this button for return to home screen. That will take them back home and back to an area where they need to type in a meeting code to join another meeting. So if they've got meetings back to back with a teacher, an intervention specialist, someone, that's how they would go to that next meeting. I hope that video helps you, and please let us know if you have any questions. We'll update this as the new features roll out on Google Meets. We'll send that out to you somehow so you can be aware of the changes and make sure you can do your best to help your students with it. Thanks, and have a great day.